Well, here's a little video showing you how to change the roll on the bandola. When it's rewound, you'll find it like this here, and the bottom spool, of course, is stopped by this here little finger. So just lift the finger, move the paper off out of the way, and then you can spool it back up. You can raise this here up a little bit. That makes it easier for you. Once you have it spooled out of the way, then you'll find that the upper spool is spring-loaded. So you push to the left and out it comes. Now you'll find that it's just held in place with two nuts. And they're just finger tight because in August or September, in the summer months, the paper can expand a little bit. So you make it so it's not too tight, but tight enough so it'll track properly. So just undo these here bolts, and don't drop anything, of course, like I always like to do. Once we have this threaded off, and you notice there's two bolts, one to tighten it and one to secure it, lock it in place. Well, now you'll see it's spring-loaded and the paper roll just comes off like that. Now the one side you'll notice has a little wooden finger in here, which then matches to this side of the spool frame, right, a little notch here. So you take your roll off, put another run out of the box, and then you just make sure that the little wooden tab is going back on the right side. If you did it backwards, well, then the roll would be playing backwards. So put it on so you can see also the paper is nice and straight, so when it's spooled back it was just perfect. This here now goes on again, and you can see how there is no notch cut on this side, so you can't make a mistake really with the bandola. Then I like to take it and tap it a little bit, put the big nut on first, and spool it up so it's not tight, but just tight enough so, you know, like a 32nd of an inch or 16th of an inch is fine for the paper. Because in the band organs, they don't have a tracking device. They use the edge of the spool here to straighten it. So put that on. You see I've got a little bit of slack here. Now you can put your locking nut on. It's a good idea, I think, to maybe tighten it if it's going to be, you're not going to change the roll for a while, you're going to play that same roll all day long. Well, then I like to tighten this so it won't come off. If it comes off, then it won't track properly. I tighten it a little bit like that there. And as you can see here, we have one side has got a flat on it, and the other side is just the dimple. And the dimple goes in on the left side where it's spring-loaded, and you just push it in, and then line up the flat with the other side here, and get it to click in for you. Now the paper roll, as you can see, this is your tracker bar here, and every time you change your roll, I would suggest vacuuming this out with a vacuum cleaner. I put a little piece of cloth on the end of the vacuum so you're not going to scratch this tracker bar, which, as you can see, is brass, but it's been plated with nickel. So now they just come straight off underneath or over the tracker bar, and then behind the bottom roller. Now you can move this bottom roller and put it in place like that there. Up you go till the finger clicks in place. I usually pull it up till you can see the titles, and you're all set to go. Always be sure the tracker bar is completely covered, or of course if it opens the left or right side, it'll want to rewind. I hope that helps. If you have any more questions or that about changing the rolls or the MIDI, don't hesitate to give me a call or an email. Okay, thank you. Bye now.